So now we'll think about stage number 2, assign. Stage number 2 is all about identifying the knowledgeable team members who know how to do the critical tasks. And you want to, where possible, get this off the business owner's plate. And if you can successfully extract a system and create a system without the business owner's involvement, and you deliver that up, as a finished product, just like I showed you in my example with the recruitment system, the business owner is going to love you, because normally they're needing to be across this in super great detail and needing to micromanage it, and they want to have it just right. And if you can deliver it on a silver package and it's 80% of the way there and it looks great, you're going to do something that they haven't been able to do. So I think, spending the time up front to get a couple of those right and identifying who in your team has some of this knowledge, and as much as possible, it's not always possible, then making sure that you get other team members who know how to do the thing. There are a couple of tools that you'll need or that will give you, that'll help you through this process. You first map out the departments, and then you need to clearly define the scope of works. So again, I've got some spreadsheets here for you. We won't go into super great detail, but it's the department, roles and team chart, DRTC, and the systems assigned sheet. I've put all of the spreadsheets into one document. It's this one over here. And you can see down here in the tabs, DRTC and SAS. We start off with the DRTC. And a big part of that is we transfer what we identified in the critical client flow into the relevant departments. The reason we do that is so that you start to think about the business in terms of departments. It also identifies how lopsided the critical client flow is. The critical client flow doesn't touch hardly any finance, human resources, management, or any of those other departments. So you get a real visual for that as this happens. We can also identify department heads and any knowledgeable workers that you're going to work with. Then once that's done, we transfer it to this sheet, and this really is where the rubber hits the road. It's where we go from the general of the critical client flow to the specific of what is it that we're going to be documenting. Because you might say, hey, I've written Facebook as one of my attention-grabbing methods inside the critical client flow, but what does that mean? How do we even turn that into a system? What does Facebook mean? And we need to get down to the specific of, hey, 80-20 here, we post daily posts onto our Facebook page, and there's a particular thing that needs to be done, and it's essential, it's repeatable, and it's delegatable. Well, that's how I'm going to 80-20 this. That's the system that I'm going to create. Or maybe Facebook is, hey, we work with an outsourced provider who runs our Facebook ads, and I meet with them once a month, and I need to make sure that we find out our stats and how they're going and keeping them accountable. Well, maybe the system ends up being the system for what you discuss on that outside, with that outsource provider. So that's those tools. Again, much of what I'm going to do here is just share the tools, but you'll learn about transferring it from the critical client flow into the DRTC and into the SAS. Now, the spreadsheets here, that's just kind of like some screenshots of what it will look like as you start to populate it. That's the DRTC. That ends up being the systems assigned sheet. And you'll see as we start to get down to real specifics on what are the systems that you're going to be capturing as part of this first sprint. The best way to learn and understand this is for me to just share an example of us doing it. So we take our own medicine as well, and we apply a lot of this thinking at SYSTEMology. And I've got, as I train up different systemologists, I've actually got one of our systemologists who's being the systemologist for SYSTEMology. And he's going through the process of working with me and knowledgeable team members and extracting what we're doing meeting with the team, doing all the documentation. And that video there is a video of the systemologist, Simon Kelly, meeting with me and doing like the transfer from the critical client flow into both of those sheets and articulating what the sprint is. So watching that video, you'll find really helpful. A little bit meta because we're kind of doing systemology on systemology, but I think it will help you understand how that population works. And yeah, we'll basically walk you through. The thing to understand here is you're going to get some awesome wins that are going to be gained just by capturing what's currently working and bringing everybody up to that standard. We're not reinventing the wheel here. Again, it's finding what's currently working from the bottom up, looking for essential, repeatable, delegatable tasks that can be passed down to lower cost or less skilled team members so that your higher skilled team members can keep leveling up what they're working on. And we use those newer team members as they learn the ropes, and then they'll become the team members that will become higher skilled over time. And if you get stuck, of course, you can always reach out to a systemologist. You can do that through head office. I mean, this is what a systemologist does. You'll either work with your systemologist or work with your business owner to get your DRTC and your SAS complete, so you can populate it and basically finish your first sprint. So that's the action item. Populate the DRTC, SAS, and define that first sprint with real great clarity. This video was a quick snippet from the Business Systems Accelerator. If you wanted to find out more about that, head over to systemology.com/membership to check out the full program. And I'll see you in the next video.